Hello, Moore County. This is John Nagy, editor of the Pilot in Southern Pines, coming to you from the back deck of the Pinehurst studio today. Turned into a beautiful afternoon today after a rather cool and cloudy day. Our broadcast is coming to you through the sponsorship of the Carolina Philharmonic tonight. Maestro David Michael Wolf has another live stream performance scheduled for this evening, beginning at 7:30 from the Bradshaw Performing Arts Center at Sandhills Community College. Tonight's performance is called The Timeless Math of Music from Pachelbel to the Piano Man in 27 minutes. David is going to show us the remarkable similarities between music from across time, what makes the Beatles and Billy Joel so similar to Pachelbel and Bach. You can catch this show by getting on your web browser and navigating to www.carolinafil.org. Now, when I went into the office for meetings this morning, my temperature registered at a chilly 96.4 degrees. Must have been that brisk walk this morning I took. The Moore County Health Department's coronavirus dashboard stands at 162 positive cases cumulatively and 10 deaths. That is up 2 cases from our last report yesterday, and Moore County added the new death to the total shortly after our broadcast yesterday and after the paper's deadline. Over at the First Health of the Carolinas page, we noted earlier that the Health Network has updated its dashboard to reflect it has administered 3,528 tests, of which 376 were positive for the virus. They are still waiting on another 107 results. Again, these results for First Health only representative for their entire region, not Moore County alone. In coronavirus news today, the only real bit of news has occurred on the state level. The North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services has begun presenting weekly updates on the number of North Carolinians who have likely recovered from the COVID-19 disease caused by the coronavirus. Now, the state estimates that as of Monday, 9,115 people are likely to have recovered from their symptoms. Keep in mind that people recover at different rates, at different speeds. Some people are more sick than others. Some people just have mild symptoms. So they are trying to keep a running total. This data is posted on the state's COVID-19 dashboard and it's going to be updated weekly. So we will not be presenting that number to you except but once a week. Our features writer, Deborah Solomon, has posted a story online, and it's in today's paper, about an art project in Vass, kind of featuring Rosie the Riveter. This time, though, Rosie is wearing a mask and brandishing a roll of toilet paper. The work making its way to T-shirts and can koozies is the idea of 13-year-old Cecilia Thompson to benefit Artworks Vass. This is a special gallery created by Gene Skipper, formerly of Artists Alley in downtown Southern Pines. The small, colorful gallery on Main Street there in Vass has become a gathering place for the community interested in her classes and various wares. Now, Artworks Vass represents currently about 70 artists with an online sales presence. Now, like other non-essential businesses, it was forced to close in mid-March. Then along came Cecilia Thompson, whose classes at Cranes Creek Middle School had been canceled. So to pass the time, Angela Thompson practiced chalk art on the sidewalk, that being her daughter, as well as creating and donating masks to the community. So one of her chalk figures was Rosie the Riveter. And the rest of the story, well, you can kind of check that out online at thepilot.com. Now, also earlier today, some students at Episcopal Day School were doing some distance learning and got to do an online chat with Miss America. So, racking her brain for activities that would spice up the school's new normal of online classes, head of school Jill Connett took to social media to request conferences with notable individuals. So Jill went on to say, quote, I literally started direct messaging famous people on Instagram, sports figures, movie stars, and even Miss America. It just came into my mind, she said. Well, Camille Schreier was crowned Miss America 2020 in late December. She is 24 years old and she holds degrees in biochemistry and systems biology from Virginia Tech and is pursuing a doctor of pharmacy degree at Virginia Commonwealth University. So she spent an hour with EDS Kids online today talking about all kinds of things. Reporter Mary Kate Murphy was there to see how the event went, and she just posted her story online moments ago. Even I haven't seen it yet. So I hope you get a chance to check that out. In other news going on around Moore County, Southern Pines is going to see some repaving through its core downtown. Work crews tomorrow are going to start tearing up West Pennsylvania Avenue from Broad Street to Midland Road and East Connecticut Avenue from Broad Street to Bethesda Road. A similar repaving project is underway on NC5 in Pinehurst. I've been getting stuck in traffic over there for a week now, and that can't end soon enough for me. So this job's probably going to take several days for these roads. This is all part of a big project the State Department of Transportation has awarded Riley Paving. It's like $6 million, $6.3 million, something like that. And they're milling, resurfacing, and doing some shoulder reconstruction along 30 miles of roadway in Moore County. This work is also going to include some sections of US 15501 between Carthage and NC 73, some sections on NC 22, and a section of 705 and some other secondary roads also. So if you're going to be traveling in these areas here in the coming weeks, you'll want to keep an eye out for this work. Again, that work in Southern Pines is going to start tomorrow. In Pinehurst, the Village Council got its first extended look at the proposed budget for the coming year. I told you yesterday, Managing Editor David Sinclair sat in on that meeting, and he's got a story online as expected. It includes a half-cent property tax increase for Pinehurst, raising the rate to 30.5 cents for every $100 of taxable value. Pinehurst still has the lowest rate in Moore County by far, almost by about 10 cents. So you can check that out online. Also over in Southern Pines, the town council had a meeting last night and they got their first big budget presentation, and they are not looking at any tax hike for the coming year. Laura Douglas covered that meeting for us last night, and she'll have a story on that as well. I'm sort of looking at my list here, and that's about all for this afternoon right now. As I've mentioned to you in the past, Wednesday is a little bit of a transition day for us. Wednesdays we tend to have our staff meetings. So I mentioned to the team this morning that I want them to start taking a day off here and there to take care of themselves. They've all been frequently working 6 days a week the past 2 months. No one has taken vacation, not that there's really anywhere to go, but none of us took the Easter holiday. And I'm a little worried, frankly, about burnout. The impact of the coronavirus is unfortunately going to be with us for some time. So it's important as a staff that we pace ourselves and make sure we're not overextending ourselves. So I hope you understand and ascribe to those beliefs as well. We all want to stay well, stay healthy, and not burn ourselves out. So this morning we talked about a bunch of stories coming up in the next few days, including that really cool flyover from the Bandit flight team that's going to be coming up Saturday around noon to honor healthcare workers and first responders. I'll tell you, we talked a little bit about that the other day. I'll remind you as we get closer to the weekend about what that's going to be and when you can catch that. We're likely going to hold the press and get those pictures in the paper for you for Sunday. And you'll also see them online at thepilot.com. We're also going to have some pictures of how Union Pines and Northmore High Schools are celebrating their students while doing graduation regalia handouts. Staff photographer Ted Fitzgerald has captured those scenes and will bring us those pictures. So you can look for those, and we'll have those on Facebook as well. A lot more coming up, including stories on some scholarship winners. Um, Mary Kate is going to be sitting in on a Whispering Pines Village Council meeting this evening. And Laura Douglas, I know, is writing up some stories about new construction projects coming up in Southern Pines. So lots going on. Thanks for being with me this afternoon from the back deck of the Pinehurst studio. I want to thank our sponsor, the Carolina Philharmonic. Maestro David Michael Wolf is doing another live stream concert tonight, 7:30 p.m. from the stage at Bradshaw Performing Arts Center at Sand Hills Community College. Uh, Maestro is taking us through a musical journey from Bach to the Beatles. So you can check that out online at www.carolinaphil.org. That should be really kind of cool. Recapping today, we stand now at 162 coronavirus cases in total for Moore County and 10 deaths related to the virus. That's all for right now. Stay informed by checking back at thepilot.com and our Facebook page. We also have a nightly email newsletter hitting inboxes at 7:30 p.m. I've talked about that, but if you're not already getting that, you can go to thepilotbriefing.com and add your email address, and we'll get you on the list. I'll be here again tomorrow. So until then, be safe, be kind, and keep your distance.